Gaur. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're going to continue to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, Text 37. Sharira Manasa Divya Vayase Yecha Manushaha Bhautikascha Katham Klesha Bhadante Hari Samshrayam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, O Vidur, how can persons completely under the shelter of Lord Krishna in devotional service be put into miseries pertaining to the body, the mind, nature, and other men and living creatures? Every living entity within this material world is always afflicted by some kind of miseries pertaining either to the body, the mind, or natural disturbances. Distress due to cold in winter and severe heat in summer always inflict miseries on the living entities in this material world. But one who has completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord in Krishna consciousness is in the transcendental stage. He is not disturbed by any miseries, either due to the body, the mind, or natural disturbances of summer and winter. He is transcendental to all these miseries. So each of us, we were speaking yesterday, is afflicted by any of these three miseries at any given point of time. Any one of them. And when we take complete shelter of Krishna, it's not that the miseries won't come. It's not that we won't get any disease or we won't have to die, leave this body and take up another body. But what happens is the pain. We don't feel the pain, not disturbed. And this is a person who has completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Means he's Krishna conscious. He's already in his transcendental position completely. And that's why I said is in transcendental stage. So we can see that if we really want to get liberated, we want to be in our original position, what do we have to do? Take complete shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. How do we do that? Chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Read about Krishna from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Did anyone want to add anything to that? Take complete shelter of the Lord. We have been reading.
I just want to say one thing, that today I just read an article. It was on Hare Krishna desire tree, and that mentioned that when we are doing the things attentively, so like anytime when somebody approaches you and when you show attention, then that person is so grateful and he feels that yes, you are giving attention to that person and you are willing to listen. So the same thing applies for the Hare Krishna chanting. I just had the realization, because I was chanting at that time, that how we all should give attention when we are chanting. Our attention should be towards Krishna. He's wanting that. That is our time for Krishna. So yeah, I just had that realization.
Wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful. So reading on. Ya Prishto Muni Praha Dharman Nana Vidan Shubhan Nirnam Varnashramanam Cha Sarva Bhuta Hita Sada. In reply to questions asked by certain sages, he, Swayambhuva Manu, out of compassion for all living entities, taught the diverse sacred duties of men in general and the different varnas and ashramas. Etad ta adi rajasya manoscharitam adbhutam varnitam varnan yasya tad apatyodayam shrinu. I have spoken to you of the wonderful character of Swayambhuva Manu, the original king, whose reputation is worthy of description. Please hear as I speak of the flourishing of his daughter, Devahuti. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 22nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. Jai. So we'll go on to the next chapter. Chapter 23, Devahuti's Lamentation. Maitreya Vacha Pitribhyam Prashthite Sadhvi Patim Ingita Ko Vida Nityam Paryacharat Pritya Bhavaniva Bhavam Prabhum. Maitreya continued. After the departure of her parents, the chaste woman Devahuti, who could understand the desires of her husband, served him constantly with great love as Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva, serves her husband. The specific example of Bhavani is very significant. Bhavani means the wife of Bhava or Lord Shiva. Bhavani or Parvati, the daughter of the king of the Himalayas, selected Lord Shiva, who appears to be just like a beggar, as her husband. Why does Lord Shiva appear just like a beggar? Where does Lord Shiva live? Anyone?
On the mountains, no? Kailash Parvat.
On Kailash Parvat, that's right. And so why does he live like that? His wife is Mother Parvati. His wife is the one who's the personification of this material nature, and he's her husband. So he can get all the opulences that he wants, but why he does not want any opulence for himself? Anyone?
Because he's busy remembering and meditating on Krishna.
Yeah. Yes. Also, yes. Very good. Very good. Yes. And he says that all the opulences are for Krishna. I don't want, all the opulences should be engaged in the service of Krishna. He is Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu, the best Vaishnav. Lord Shiva is the best Vaishnav. So he's saying that all the opulences, because the material nature belongs to Krishna, she is his energy, so it should be used in his service. So reading on, in spite of her being a princess, she undertook all kinds of tribulations to associate with Lord Shiva, who did not even have a house, but was sitting underneath the trees and passing his time in meditation. Although Bhavani was the daughter of a very great king, she used to serve Lord Shiva just like a poor woman. So how chaste Mother Parvati is. She's serving Lord Shiva like that, you know. She could have big palaces, but she is saying, no, my husband is sitting under a tree, I will serve him there. Similarly, Devahuti was the daughter of an emperor, Swayambhuva Manu. Yet, she preferred to accept Kardama Muni as her husband. She served him with great love and affection, and she knew how to please him. Therefore, she is designated here as Sadhavi, which means a chaste, faithful wife. Chaste, faithful. So that is the qualification of Devahuti. She is a princess, the daughter of the emperor, so used to so many servants, palaces, you know, all whatnot. But here she is in the forest with her husband. A rare example is the ideal of Vedic civilization. Every woman is expected to be as good and chaste as Devahuti or Bhavani. Today in Hindu society, unmarried girls are still taught to worship Lord Shiva with the idea that they may get husbands like him. So the wife is ideal who is chaste, and the husband is ideal who is a pure devotee of the Lord. So the husband is like Lord Shiva, he's a pure devotee of the Lord, and his wife, Parvati Devi, she is busy serving him because he's a pure devotee. So that is the Vedic society. Lord Shiva is the ideal husband, not in the sense of riches or sense gratification, but because he's the greatest of all devotees. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Shambhu or Lord Shiva is the ideal Vaishnava. He constantly meditates upon Lord Rama and chants Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. the bhajan is there that Chatur Mukhe, Brahma bole Chatur Mukhe, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Panchamukhe Shiva Kahe, Rama Rama Hare Hare. So with his, so that's the bhajan. Lord Shiva is always meditating on Lord Ramachandra. Lord Shiva's Ishtadev is Sankarshan. He's actually meditating always on Lord Sankarshan, who is a plenary portion of Krishna. So Lord Shiva has a Vaishnav Sampradaya, which is called the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. So Lord Shiva's Sampradaya, the Acharya in that line is Vishnu Swami. It's a Vaishnav Sampradaya, teaches properly how to love Krishna, how to go back to Krishna. Unmarried girls worship Lord Shiva so that they can expect a husband who is as good a Vaishnav as he is. The girls are not taught to select a husband who is very rich or very opulent for material sense gratification. Rather, if a girl is fortunate enough to get a husband as good as Lord Shiva in devotional service, then her life becomes perfect. The wife is dependent on the husband, and if the husband is a Vaishnav, then naturally she shares the devotional service of the husband because she renders him service. So in the Vedic times, the wife was dependent on the husband. It's now the status is a bit different in Kali Yuga.
Totally different.
Yeah.
It's the other way. Nowadays, husband should be rich.
Yeah. So anyway, we are speaking about here, it's telling us like, when the society was following the Vedic culture, so then naturally she shares the devotional service of the husband because she renders him service. And so Ardhangani, why is the wife called Ardhangani? Why she's called Ardhangani? Because whenever the husband is performing any good activities, pious activities, devotional service, she gets half the benefit. She shares, she gets the benefit. And likewise, when the wife is performing, the husband gets the benefit. So this reciprocation of service and love between husband and wife is the ideal of a householder's life.
Sorry, but I have heard that the wife gets the half what husband performs, but the husband doesn't get the half of what the wife performs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard that even the husband gets, when the wife is performing devotional service.
That is nice to hear. Yeah, something new, because I heard that wife only gets from husband.
No, even when the wife is performing devotional service, the children get, the husband gets, because devotional service, the whole family becomes glorious, right? The whole family, the parents, everyone. Prabhupada used to say, the best service we can do to our parents or to our family members, become a devotee.
Okay. Thank you.
And in this way, we can give them the highest benefit. Vishrambhenatma shauchena gauravena damena cha shushrusaya sauridena vacha madhuraya cha boho. O Vidur, Devahuti served her husband with intimacy and great respect, with control of the senses, with love, and with sweet words. Here, two words are very significant. Devahuti served her husband in two ways, Vishrambhena and Gauravena. These are two important processes in serving the husband or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishrambhena means with intimacy, and Gauravena means with great reverence. Intimacy and reverence. The husband is a very intimate friend. Therefore, the wife must render service just like an intimate friend. And at the same time, she must understand that the husband is superior in position, and thus she must offer him all respect. Now, if a modern young woman, she hears that, she'll say, what are you speaking about? What is all this are you talking about? It's totally not true. But we have to understand that in Vedic times, the men were qualified. They are highly qualified. Look at Kardama Muni's qualification. He's seeing the Supreme Lord face to face. Lord Shiva, he's He's the greatest Vaishnava. So we are speaking about the husbands who are worthy of respect also. That's the reason it is said like this, not that the husband is, not worthy of respect. And then, that's totally another different thing again. But here we are speaking about um, these great personalities who are really worthy of respect. A man's psychology and a woman's psychology are different. As constituted by bodily frame, a man always wants to be superior to his wife, and a woman, as bodily constituted, is naturally inferior to her husband. Thus, the natural instinct is that the husband wants to post himself as superior to the wife, and this must be observed. Even if there is some wrong on the part of the husband, the wife must tolerate it, and thus there will be no misunderstanding between husband and wife. So, to keep a healthy family life, to keep peace at home. Vishrambena means with intimacy, but it must not be familiarity that breeds contempt. According to the Vedic civilization, a wife cannot call her name by her husband, call her husband by his name. It's like before, like even my mom, she still does not call my father by his name. And if she's referring to someone else, she'll never say his name out. So that was observed. She would not call by the name. That was in before times. So
Heda.
Heda. Yeah, if she's calling him, she'll call him Heda. But even if she's referring to someone else about him, she will never call.
Yeah. We all are parents, I think, no?
Yeah.
I think even even I never call him by his name. I just say ki suno, yeah.
Yeah, directly we might not. But if I'm talking to you, my husband went. Then we do tend to, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Yes.
So here, the Vedic civilization is, okay, even if you're talking like in a third person, they would not say his name out, So that's what's the point here. In the present civilization, the wife calls her husband by name, but in Hindu civilization, she does not. Thus, the inferiority and superiority complexes are recognized. The Menacha, a wife has to learn to control herself, even if there is a misunderstanding. So, any thoughts? A wife has to learn to control herself, even if there is misunderstanding. Now, if someone is saying that feminist or something, we might say, oh, what is this you're speaking about? What is all this, It's not true. Well, what I would say is to keep the peace between wife and husband, if one is angry, one need to listen. And when the other is angry, the other need to listen. So that both can have a good compromise. At least that's what my 2 bits is. If you all have anything, y'all can.
Yeah, I agree that if we give respect and if we try to be little tolerant and listen, then they understand and that's what you get in return. But if we get agitated and we start shouting, then we cannot control someone's anger. And even we are taught that when person is angry, then we should pause for a while and think, because in anger, either you will hurt yourself and you'll hurt the person with whom you are trying to respond or fight, because your response won't be perfect when you are angry.
Nice. Yes. So true. So true. So
this is my personal experience.
Yeah, it's true.
I have experienced personal also that if we become quiet, then that thing doesn't even exist after 5 minutes. But if we respond before that 5 minutes, then yes, the thing will last for a whole week and it won't stop. Yes.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Thank you. Yeah. So Hridena Vacha Madhurya means always desiring good for the husband and speaking to him with sweet words. So Hridena Vacha Madhurya. desire good for the husband, and speaking to him with sweet words. A person becomes agitated by so many material contacts in the outside world. Therefore, in his home life, he must be treated by his wife with sweet words. So this is like when only the man used to go out of the house to earn, and the wife is at home. So he's dealt with so many different things outside. And when he comes home, then he needs like a nice understanding. And similarly, the wife also, if she's working outside and facing so many things, and she's coming home, then she also needs that sweet words from the husband. You know? So, because right now the demographics are a bit different than earlier. So both need to follow it, you know. So visrijya kamam dambam cha dvesham lobam agam madam apratmato dhyata nityam teji yamsam atoshayat. Working sanely and diligently, she pleased her very powerful husband, giving up all lust, pride, envy, greed, sinful activities, and vanity. Okay, she's a princess. Huh? Here are some of the qualities of a great husband's great wife. Kardama Muni is great by spiritual qualification. Such a husband is called Teji Yamsam, most powerful. Although a wife may be equal to her husband in advancement, in spiritual consciousness, she should not be vainly proud. So pride is anyway not good for us, you know, not only with the husband, but with anyone else. Pride comes before a fall. You know, when we get proud, then that's just before our fall down. Pride. That's Prabhupada. Krishna speaks also in Bhagavad Gita about pride, arrogance. He says these are not good qualities and we should give them up. So although a wife may be, okay, sometimes it happens that the wife comes from a very rich family, as did Devahuti, the daughter of Emperor Swayambhuva Manu. She could have been very proud of her parentage, but that is forbidden. The wife should not be proud of her parental position. She must always be submissive to the husband and must give up all vanity. As soon as the wife becomes proud of her parentage, her pride creates great misunderstanding between the husband and wife, and the nuptial life is ruined. So Devahuti did not say, oh, I'm emperor's daughter, you're making me stay in the forest, what's happening? No, she never ever did that. Devahuti was very careful about that. And therefore it is said here that she gave up pride completely. She didn't feel, oh, my husband, what is he giving me? Just this small ashram to live in? What's happening? Devahuti was not unfaithful. The most sinful activity for a wife is to accept another husband or another lover. Chanakya Pandit has described 4 kinds of enemies at home. If the father is in debt, he is considered to be an enemy. If the mother has selected another husband in the presence of her grown-up children, she is considered to be an enemy. If a wife does not live well with her husband, but deals very roughly, then she is an enemy. And if a son is a fool, he is also an enemy. So Chanakya Pandit is a great, great philosopher. He knows the Niti Shastra. So that is his teachings. So in family life, father, mother, wife, and children are assets. But if the wife or mother accepts another husband in the presence of her husband or son, then according to Vedic civilization, she is considered an enemy. A chaste and faithful woman must not practice adultery. That is a greatly sinful act. So in Vedic civilization, there was no adultery. No adultery in Vedic civilization. So,
and if the husband chooses another, wife.
Yeah.
Right.
So the idea was the kings would have many, many wives, right? But they were able to provide for every wife. They were able to protect every wife, provide them. You see the kings, we see that how many wives they had, you know.
Many years.
So that, but not that you get a wife, you get many wives and then you let them fight because there is not enough. So that was another time. That's when
And they
now
used to
by
have
law
many
it's not
wives.
allowed, right? Now, even by law, it's not
Right.
allowed, right? Because it's a different time. Time is time, place, and circumstance. So it's different now.
And they used to have many wives. It's like to maintain, to take care of them. I
Yeah.
think that was
Yeah, that's what the king, that's what was the duty of the king, no?
right.
You know, that he's able to provide, he's able to protect all these women, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But in Ram's time, it was not like that, right? Because see, Ram had only one wife.
Lord Ramachandra's time. No, it was.
Ramachandra.
Dashrath had 4 wives. Dashrath had 4 wives, but Lord Ramachandra, he was playing the part of like a perfect human being, playing the part. He's not a human being, he's the Supreme Lord, but he's showing us the ideal character.
Said he said, Maryada.
Maryada Purushottam. Yeah. And he had taken a vow that I'm gonna have only one wife. He had taken a vow. Eka Patni Vrata. He took a vow like that. So that's why he didn't. But when Krishna came, he had 16,000 wives. Why? Because those women told him that, where are we going to go? You know, we got kidnapped. Now nobody's going to marry us. Our father's not going to bring us home. What's going to happen to us? So he said, okay, I'll protect you. I'll marry you all. So he married them because he's able to protect them. Like that. So thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.